Something is brewing in the Windy City, and it feels heavier than usual. We have spent years waiting for a moment that finally feels real, and now the whispers are turning into a roar. This isn't just another season. This is the turning point for everything we believe in as Bears fans. If you are a real fan who bleeds blue and orange and believes this team can finally reach that Super Bowl glory, you need to hit that subscribe button and like this video right now. The faithful know that something massive is coming for our Chicago Bears. The rumors are swirling, and they point directly to a collision course that could define the next decade of Chicago football. We are hearing that the NFL might be ready to throw our Bears right into the deepest part of the ocean to start the 2026 season. Imagine this. Wednesday night. The entire world is watching. The defending Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks are waiting at Lumen Field, and the reports are suggesting that it won't be the Cowboys or the Giants standing across from them. It won't be a Super Bowl rematch with the Patriots. Instead, the buzz is that it will be Caleb Williams and our Chicago Bears. This is where it gets interesting, because this isn't just a random Week 1 game. This is the league telling us that the Bears are the main attraction now. But here is the thing that keeps me up at night. Starting on the road against the reigning champs on a Wednesday is a massive mountain to climb for a young team. Now this is where it gets interesting. Mike Garafolo from NFL Network is basically saying he has felt like it would be Chicago for a long time. Think about the pressure that puts on Caleb's shoulders before the first whistle even blows. We aren't just talking about a game. We are talking about a statement. If the NFL puts us there, it means they believe the Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams connection is the most exciting thing in football right now. But honestly, it feels like a double-edged sword. You want the spotlight, you want the respect, but you are walking into a hornet's nest in Seattle. The atmosphere at Lumen Field is legendary for a reason, and for our young stars to have to navigate that as the very first game of the year is intense. It feels like the league is testing our resolve immediately. There is this sense of hidden tension because if we go in there and stumble, the narrative changes instantly. But if we win, if Caleb outduels the champs on their own turf, everything changes for this franchise. The future we have been dreaming about suddenly becomes the present. It is a moment of pure emotional suspense that could set the tone for the entire journey ahead for every single one of us. This is the stage. Now, as if a Wednesday night road opener against the champions wasn't enough to handle, there is something even more daunting lurking beneath the surface of this 2026 schedule. When you look at the raw data and the win totals coming out of Vegas, a very scary picture starts to emerge for our Bears. According to the latest analysis by Warren Sharp, we aren't just facing a tough road. We are facing the 6th toughest strength of schedule in the entire NFL. Let that sink in for a moment. While we are trying to build this new era, the path is being paved with some of the most dangerous obstacles imaginable. And honestly, this is where the concern really starts to set in for me as a fan. When you look at our rivals in the NFC North, the contrast is absolutely staggering, and it feels incredibly unfair. The Detroit Lions apparently have the easiest schedule in the entire league. The Packers and the Vikings are sitting right in the middle of the pack. But us, we are at the very top of the difficulty mountain. This creates an immediate scenario where there is zero room for error. We aren't just fighting the teams on the field. We are fighting a statistical disadvantage from day one. This schedule includes the heavy hitters like the Eagles, the Jaguars, and a trip to face the Bills in the cold. It feels like every single week is going to be a battle for survival. Does this roster have the depth to handle that kind of sustained pressure? That is the biggest question right now. When you have a gauntlet that includes the Jets, the Patriots, and the Saints, you realize there are no easy games on this calendar. Every win is going to have to be earned with blood, sweat, and tears. This isn't just about talent anymore. It's about endurance and emotional toughness. The risk here is that a few early losses against this brutal schedule could spiral into something much worse. We are looking at a roster that has to be perfect just to keep pace with a Detroit team that has a much smoother ride. It creates this atmosphere of constant uncertainty where we are forced to wonder if the deck is stacked against us. This reality is heavy, but this is where things change, because the schedule is more than just a list of names. It is a direct challenge to the identity of this team. When you realize we have to go on the road to face the Dolphins and the Falcons while also dealing with our usual divisional wars, you start to see the hidden implications of this news. This is where it really matters for Caleb Williams. We are asking a young quarterback to navigate the 6th hardest path in football, while the world expects him to be a savior. And that's the biggest question facing this organization right now. Can the infrastructure around him hold up under that kind of relentless heat? Because this could become something much bigger than just a few games. It could be the ultimate forge for a championship core, or it could be the weight that breaks us. The pressure is mounting because we know the window is opening. But the league isn't making it easy for us to jump through. Think about the emotional escalation here. If we are the Wednesday night game, we have a short week or a weird schedule quirk right out of the gate. Then we jump into a schedule where 7 of our opponents were playoff teams. It's a recurring cycle of high-stakes matchups that never lets up. Every time we think we have a breather, another contender is waiting in the tunnel. This creates a loop of intensity that most teams simply can't handle. But this is where the narrative of the Chicago Bears has to shift. For years, we were the team that folded when things got tough or the team that lacked the offensive firepower to keep up. Now, with Ben Johnson calling the shots and Caleb throwing the rock, the expectation is different. But the reality of this schedule is a cold splash of water to the face. It reminds us that nothing is given in this league. We are seeing a roster that is talented, yes, but is it battle-hardened? That is what 2026 is going to reveal. The tension is palpable because we all want to believe this is the year, but the roadmap looks like a minefield. We are staring at a future where every Sunday feels like a playoff game. This is true. I'm going to be honest with all of you, this actually worries me more than I want to admit. As much as I love the idea of Caleb Williams under the bright lights of a Wednesday night opener, the reality of this strength of schedule is a lot to process. I really like the move of bringing in Ben Johnson. I think he is the offensive mind we have desperately needed for decades. But even a genius coach needs a break sometimes, and this schedule offers absolutely none. I think fans should pay attention to how the division is shaping up, because it feels like the Lions are being handed a golden ticket while we are being sent into a gladiator arena. This could be incredible if we come out of it battle-tested and ready for a deep run, or this could become a problem if we start taking injuries early on. It's a balancing act of hope and extreme concern. I look at games against the Saints or the Buccaneers, and I see potential traps everywhere. We can't afford to look past anyone. I want to see that monsters of the Midway identity return, but in a modern way where our offense is just as terrifying as our defense. There is this lingering feeling of cautious optimism, because we finally have the pieces, but the environment is so hostile. It makes me wonder if the NFL is intentionally testing the Bears to see if we are truly back. Are we ready to be the big market powerhouse again? Being chosen for that opener suggests the league thinks so, but the data on our schedule difficulty suggests we are going to have to prove it every single week. I really believe in Caleb's talent, but no quarterback can do it alone against a gauntlet like this. We need the offensive line to be elite. We need the defense to be top 5. We need Ben Johnson to be every bit the guru he is advertised to be. It's an emotional roller coaster just thinking about the swings we could see this season. One week we could be on top of the world after beating Seattle, and the next we are grinding out a must-win game against a tough divisional foe. It's going to take every bit of our collective energy. Let's go. The weight of these revelations is starting to settle in. And it's clear that the 2026 season is going to be unlike anything we have ever experienced as Bears fans. The story isn't just about one game or one rumor. It's about a franchise being thrust back into the global spotlight and forced to earn its respect the hard way. We are standing on the edge of a new era, but the path forward is paved with the toughest challenges the NFL can throw at us. Does Caleb Williams have the poise to silence the 12th man in Seattle? Can Ben Johnson outsmart the brightest defensive minds in the league week after week? The future is incredibly uncertain, and that is exactly what makes this so exhilarating and terrifying at the same time. The journey is just beginning, and something even bigger feels like it is waiting just around the corner. We need to stay united as a fan base, because the pressure is only going to get more intense from here. I want to hear from you down in the comments. Do you think we can handle the 6th toughest schedule and come out on top? Are you ready for a Wednesday night battle in Seattle? Let me know your thoughts, and don't forget to like and subscribe to stay tuned as this incredible story unfolds. We are the Chicago Bears, and our time is coming. The faithful are ready. Are you? Let's get it. The countdown has officially started for our legendary return to the very top.